Great Scott. Great Scott. Great Scott.
And this is the problem with the film from its inception, that Batman could ever have a battle with Superman, and that it could ever be believable, or that Superman wouldn't just crush him in a second. And we've already talked about that going into it and how I feel about it, and I think that this particular battle, and when you introduce kryptonite, and when you have Batman armored, and when Superman is weakened, and when Superman is not a killer, and when he goes into the battle with his heart not really in destroying Batman, a lot of that makes it make a lot more sense. So that's what we have here. We have a Superman who clearly when he leaves Lois says, or he has to die. That's all I can do. You can tell he's weak. You can tell his resolve in that is not really of a man who's going to go kill Batman. Otherwise, his eyes would just be red and he'd do a super shot over to where Batman is in a second and Batman would just be paste. Armor, no armor, kryptonite, no kryptonite. It would just be done. Or you throw a penny through his helmet from space and it goes down into his feet. And he's dead. But that's not Superman. So Superman goes in, and we kind of know, a lot of fans wanted to say, oh yeah, this is Superman, a guy who says he's going to kill a guy. No, it's Superman desperate to save his mother, which we then go back to, why didn't he just find... Oh, well, without the kryptonite, I guess that couldn't have happened, so we needed that there. But in that case, Batman could have come with the kryptonite and said, Wonder Woman, here! Or Superman, here! He wouldn't throw it to Superman because he knows that the kryptonite would kill him, but... So there are dramatic beats that we needed to get to in the movie, so the direction that I'm talking about couldn't have happened, but they should have been explained away or shown why that wasn't done that way. It's better than I think that they were. Sure, we can say Superman didn't want to get involved because he was afraid Martha would be killed, but then that would apply to Batman as well, because Lex isn't just going to let Batman go rescue her. Either way, you're involving Batman to save her, I'm killing her. You come to save her, I'm killing her. Cops show up, I'm killing her. I know you can find her. I know you have the ability to know where she's at. You might hear her right now. But if you tell anyone, go save her, send anyone, I'm going to kill her. And then you'll know that you knew where she was, but didn't do what I wanted, so she's dead. But the biggest thing, of course, is the battle. And here's the biggest problem. The biggest problem is not whether or not Batman could fight Superman. We know that if Superman had resolve and was planning on killing whoever he had to kill, Batman or anybody else would never stand a chance. Batman generally relies on the fact that Superman's not a killer and always holds back in his battles. He knows this about him. This Batman wouldn't necessarily know that, because this Batman only knows that he had a battle in Metropolis that killed lots of people, broke a guy's neck, and supposedly saved the world, but at what cost? That's what drove this Batman to decide Superman needed to be killed. So the biggest problem is that Batman thinks that this terrible killer who could destroy the world is going to allow him the time to use kryptonite on him and not just fly into him at Mach 12, if that's even a number, and paste him across the earth. Then the second part of that is, if Batman believes he's so terrible, he needs to be ready as soon as he gets there or before he can hit him with the kryptonite. But he's not. He hits him with bullets, which he knows aren't going to affect him. He lets him destroy his weapons. He lets him push him down onto the ground. He lets him fly him through a building. He waits until they land on the other side, where Superman had infinite number of chances to destroy Batman and make him paste, before he hits him with the first kryptonite gas pellet. And that, of course, brings Superman down to a super weak level, and Batman then gets the upper hand and starts beating up Superman. But you would need to do that immediately. And even immediately would be too late, because you wouldn't see him coming and he'd just paste you if he was such a terrible, terrible, destructive, murderous force. And that's what we're meant to believe Bruce thinks that he is. Bruce doesn't have any reason in his addled state to believe that Superman is going to be a guy who holds back. He believes he's the coming of death. He believes he is the apocalypse of Earth. He believes that he's going to bring about death and destruction wherever he goes. So he doesn't think he's a good guy who's going to hold back or wait or give this guy time to kill him. So it makes no sense that Batman would ever think, not only will he not just make me paste or kill me, like Alfred says, you have no chance here, especially if you're right. Why wouldn't he just kill you? He could fly over you with beams. He could melt you to paste. He could destroy you within less than a second, before you could deploy any kryptonite, before you could even know he was there. So if he's that bad, Batman who's that smart shouldn't know that. Okay, so we go, he's so crazy that he's not the normal Batman we know, and we see that throughout the movie. He does things that Batman fans hated and said that isn't Batman. It's very out of character. He doesn't use guns. He doesn't kill people. But he's so mad and he's so angry and he's so just obsessed with killing this thing that he thinks is going to destroy the Earth that he doesn't do his normal strategy. He gets angry and he works out and he goes over there in armor and he's going to fight Superman. Still doesn't explain why he doesn't hit him with kryptonite right away. Superman lands, boom, I'm a tough guy, boom, kryptonite, you're dead. Or what about a kryptonite bullet? Boom, I'm a tough guy, I landed, psh, now I'm dead. Right in my heart, right in my head, whatever. No, he waits. Superman would have crushed him 10 times over. He waits till he uses that. Then, and it was real cool, one of my favorite parts, when Superman gets his strength back, kind of smirks at him and starts beating him up again. Then, we have Superman, instead of finishing the battle, okay, he doesn't want to kill Batman, we know that. But instead of just tearing off his armor, throwing him against the wall and having him be knocked unconscious, or hitting his face, you know, tear the helmet off, pop him in the head, he again just kind of throws Batman around because he doesn't want to hurt him and waits for Batman to use kryptonite on him again. Then he leaps through the air at him and gets hit right in the face with the kryptonite, where instead he could go super fast around, super fast down, he could fly anywhere and not get hit, but he knows he has the kryptonite now. So the battle itself is a giant plot hole, and a lot of things happen in it that are nonsensical and unable to be explained in a reasonable way. You can say, yes, Superman doesn't want to hurt Batman. Batman is in a crazed state, so he isn't thinking about how he should go about this. He just does it, and he doesn't have the order right. But it happens multiple times, and it continues to happen, and the whole idea that Superman is so dangerous Batman can't leave him alive is contradicted by the fact that Batman leaves him alive and waits around to use any of the kryptonite. He would have been dead, or the battle would have been over, and Superman would destroy the Earth without Batman being there anymore, if that was what he wanted to do. And that's the whole plot of the movie, that Bruce so thinks that that's who this guy is, so he should be ultra prepared, he should be ultra ready, he should ultra know that this guy could destroy him in seconds, so I gotta get him first. But he doesn't do that. So it's kind of nonsensical, and that's the biggest plot hole, and because of it, if you don't just make up reasons in your head or just let it go, the whole idea of the movie kind of falls apart right there. Because without that, there wouldn't be a battle, there wouldn't be a Batman v Superman, because Batman would either be paced or Superman would be dead within seconds. He would never get to the point where he could convince Batman that he's just as human as he is, or even more so. I still love the movie, but that's a big problem that I don't think the Ultimate Edition is going to fix, because it's still going to happen the way it happens. But we'll see, and I'll talk about that next week. Some paste for thought. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and remember, always look up in the sky. And remember, if you look up in the sky, you might see an emaciated, nuclear-blasted Superman floating in space, almost looking like a zombie who eventually, because of the sun, gets his power back and opens his angry red eyes. So always look up there.